Okay, everyone, welcome to our first RevTech Summit. Excited to welcome everybody here. If you don't know me, I am Billy Bateman, co-founder of Chat Funnels, and we're excited to have you and for all the speakers that we've got today. So we've got a great lineup of speakers. We've got people from companies such as ZoomInfo, Domo, Customer, QuickBase, Pegasystems, Seamless AI, DemandBase, 6sense, ExecVision, Centrix, and many others. We have over 2,000 total attendees from all over the world, and company sizes ranging from small 2 to 3-man startups to Fortune 100 companies. So we're going to be talking today, and the reason we chose RevTech is because what we've noticed is there is this trend of marketing and sales technologies merging into something that, it's not just something that marketing pays for and uses, and not something that just sales pays for and uses. There are more and more tools that both departments are paying for and both are using. Look at conversational marketing is one. CRM for years has been like that. And we really wanted to highlight, okay, what technologies are people actually using to drive more revenue, and hear from real users. So although we have a lot of vendors presenting, they're bringing customers on to talk about how they are using different tools on a daily basis to drive pipeline and close revenue. So we also did a survey as part of this, and hundreds of you filled this survey out. Really excited about the response to see what technologies people are using. And we put together what we are going to call our first RevTech map, which I'm going to share with everybody here. Okay. All right. So here is the initial RevTech map. We'll be sharing this with everyone that attended the summit, sending it out to you so you can have it for yourself. But we've put the different technologies people are using in different categories. And what we've done is we've got marketing up here at the top, and then tools that are being paid for and used by both sales and marketing, and then the sales exclusive tools down here. And even though we put them into these, a lot of these, ABM, could we have put that in both sales and marketing? Possibly. As it becomes more mature and we see more what's going on in that space, definitely something we could have done. And then even sales engagement, more and more we're seeing the BDR and SDR department reporting into marketing. So that may even be starting to come out of more marketing budgets than what we're seeing so far. So to dig into this a little more, what I'm going to do is bring in Dr. Jim Oldroyd, who has been working with us on this study, and he's going to talk about some of our initial findings that we've seen here. So in just a minute, I'll bring Jim in, but everyone will be getting a copy of the study once it's been completed. And with that, I'm going to bring in Jim. All right, so now I'm joined by Jim Oldroyd, professor of strategy at BYU. Jim, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, happy to do it. Great to be here, Billy. Thanks.
Yeah. We're excited to have you here for the RevTech Summit. We've been doing our survey as part of the summit, and you've been analyzing the data. And, first, you've been looking at this space for a while. So what trends have you noticed lately?
Yeah, so I've spent 15 years looking at sales acceleration in this space. And I think early on, we were really focused in on the behaviors. So, can we get people to rapidly respond to leads, et cetera? And I've been thinking a lot more recently about the creation of tools that are helping really accelerate revenue and revenue, tech. So the tech tools that are doing that. And I was recently watching a video. It's an early recording of Steve Jobs. So he's 24 years old. It's in like 1980, and he's describing to a group why Apple was why he created Apple and where did it come from. And he gives this story about he and Woz, as he calls him, were they were just putting together computers on their own for their own purpose, and then they had some friends start to come to them, and they started just building this company out. And somebody asked, well, what's the purpose of it? Why are you doing it? And it was interesting. He talked about how there was an article in Scientific America that looked at which animals are the most efficient, use the least energy to travel the most distance. And the condor came in as the best, right? It could cover the most ground with the least amount of energy. And humans did pretty poorly. We're about a third the way down the list at covering distance with least energy. But somebody at Scientific America thought to look at a human on a bicycle. And so in this, they looked at how far a human could travel on a bicycle with, using the energy. We were twice as good as the condor. Like a human on a bike was twice as efficient as a condor. And he talks about how Apple was really created to be a tool to help accelerate that human element. We're tool builders at the end of the day, where that's what we're really doing. And so, I love this survey that we've just recently done, looking at tools in this RevTech space, and how are people using tools? What do those look like? And I think we found some interesting things.
Yeah, I think we did. So you took a deep look at all the data. What did you find?
So as we dug into this, about 500 firms have completed the survey. Shockingly, we found that companies in general are poor users of tools. So I thought we would find much higher usage of these revenue and sales acceleration tools, and frankly, we're just not seeing it. So, the worst were conversation intelligence tools. The best were CRM tools. Like the most adoption was CRM tools. But shockingly, we found across really 5 categories: sales engagement, conversation intelligence, conversation marketing, account-based marketing, and web optimization. Less than 50% of companies were actually using those tools.
Wow. So why do you think that is? Is it, they're new tools that people haven't adopted yet, or maybe there's just not a fit there?
Yeah. So digging into the data a little more deeply, I dug in and looked at, I thought probably this was just because, maybe it's small companies. So larger firms have more money, they have more resources, they have more people. Yep. You're going to have larger sales teams, and surely, we're going to see a big difference between the small and the large companies. And shockingly, being a $50 million a year company has almost it's a very minimal advantage over being under a $1 million a year company. There's almost no, it's just a few percentage points difference in being a large firm versus a very small firm. And so this isn't due to not having resources. Even firms that are over $1 billion are still not utilizing a lot of these tools. And so your question, I think it's a really, really profound question. If it's not money, what is it? And it's probably likely a combination of several factors. So one of the things that I've noticed repeatedly is that tools are often sold as a silver bullet. You buy the tool, you're going to have this ROI boost. You're going to have these great benefits that come from it. But if you look at it across all of these areas, it requires a ton of investment after you buy the tool. So it's not just having the tool. It's really looking to understand what the tool is, making sure you have a problem that the tool is going to solve, but then thinking much more generally about it and realizing that much of the investment that you're going to have to make in using the tool is in training someone how to use the tool effectively.
Yep.
If I give somebody a bicycle and they don't know how to ride a bicycle, they're still not going to be more efficient than the condor, right? You have to teach them how to ride the bicycle, and then they're much better. So I think, in general, big firms, medium firms, small firms, it doesn't matter. They're all poor at teaching people really how to use the tools effectively. And it's kind of shocking, actually, if you think about it.
Some of that probably comes back on the vendors as well who create the tools,
Yeah. Well, and that's one thing I want to say. I actually love what you're doing, Billy, at Chat Funnels, because you're spending a lot of time helping users understand what the tools are. You're spending time not helping them understand your tool. You're helping them understand what a chat could look like. How could this benefit them? And then that's not only informing your product development, but it's really co-building a tool that's going to be appropriate for companies. And I think that's the answer. I mean, at the end of the day, if you have engineers building tools that aren't using the tools, it's not going to work effectively.
Yeah.
My father has always had a pickup truck. He loves pickup trucks, but he complains constantly, that they're poorly designed. He's like, clearly they've never loaded anything into a truck, or they would have designed it differently. And it's the same thing. If companies aren't willing to invest in the user experience with the tool,
Yep.
they're not going to be able to bridge that gap. And so I really like your approach, Billy, in where let's dig in and solve a true problem and optimize the tool for utilization.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jim. We'll let you go, but we'll be sending out the whole survey, all the results to all the attendees, and also an infographic of the RevTech map of all the products that we found as we did this survey. And I hope everyone enjoys the conference.
Yeah, I do too. Great. Thanks, Billy. It's great. And just as I say to the listeners, if you're going to get a tool, make sure you use it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Don't let it become shelfware.
Yep.
So,
all right.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. And now you can start watching Goddard Abel and Dave Elkington's keynote. It's great. I think you're really going to enjoy it.